Hi, I'm Seher,
And I'm Shreya. Welcome to our show, Only Spoilers.
where I tell Shreya about a book that I've read or a movie that I've watched. In today's episode, I'm going to continue talking about A Code of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Are you going to read it, Shreya?
Definitely not.
So let me tell you all about it.
Okay, so before we start talking about what happens next, let me just see if I remember what happened in the last episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so Feyre is living with Tamlin right now, and they were like preparing for their wedding day, whatever. She was low-key dreading it. And while she's walking down the aisle, she's like, oh my God, someone help me, and Rhysand shows up. And he's like, come with me, babe. And she's like, okay, well, not like that, but like, you know. And so they're there, and he tells her, hey, I think you have powers. And she's like, really, you think so? And he's like, yeah. And so he kind of helps her like figure it out, like shield her mind or whatever, and like, you know, and also teach her how to read and everything. And she's like, why are you doing that? And he's like, because, you know, like just for my humor and stuff. But really, like, I think he's trying to be a good guy and help her out.
Yeah.
And like, he's also like, oh, I need your help with something. We don't know what that is yet. Okay. And she goes back to Tamlin. They have this like weird dynamic, and she confronts Tamlin to be like, oh, I have powers. Why didn't you tell me? And he's just like, well, we don't know what's going to happen if, you know, you know about your powers.
Yeah.
And what if like all these high lords like want to take advantage of it, make babies with you to have more powerful babies, or like kidnap you for their own thing. Like, I'm just trying to protect you. It's his thing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, that's so not fair. And he's like, yeah, it is. And we ended with him leaving with Lucian to go on a trek or like to take care of some business in the lands and stuff. And he leaves Feyre at home, but like puts a shield around the house so she can't leave. So essentially she's like a prisoner in her own place. And she's like screaming for help and everything. And because Rhysand has like a way into her mind, they have that connection. He's like, oh my God, we need to help her. So he sends his cousin to take her and everything and like bring her to the Night Court.
Yeah.
And so now the questions are like, oh, you know, is Tamlin going to find out? How is he going to find out? What is his reaction going to be? Like, you know, like how is Feyre feeling after all of this too? Like, does she hate Tamlin now? Because I feel like she should. And because, you know, the politics between Tamlin and Rhysand and like them essentially kidnapping her, is that going to cause like drama?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to know, because that girl has been suffering for quite a while.
She's been asking for help. She's been asking to be a part of rebuilding the court.
Yeah.
And Tamlin is like, no, you've done enough, and I want to protect you. Just sit at home, look pretty.
Yeah.
That's all he wants her to do. He's not even listening to her cry of help. And this was the last straw. And now she's had a, you know, mental breakdown and she's screaming, and now Rhysand has rescued her.
Yeah.
So Rhysand takes her back to the Night Court. And she sleeps it off. A few hours later, when she wakes up, he's sitting by her bed, and she realizes how tired and heartbroken she is. And Rhysand is like, if you want to go back, it's your choice. But if you want to stay here for as long as you want, you're most welcome to stay here. You don't have to do anything, you know, just be here. And he's like, I have to leave. I have to be somewhere else for a few days. So just rest up and I'll come back. And Feyre is again nervous that, oh my God, he's going to leave me.
Yeah, she's triggered.
In an empty house. So she's
abandonment issues.
Yeah. So she's like, no, take me with you. And Rhysand is like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I have rested enough. I don't want to stay here anymore. Just take me wherever you're going. I can protect myself. I won't be a problem. Just take me with you.
Yeah.
So Rhysand is like, okay, you can come with me, but wherever I'm taking you, you are not allowed to talk about it ever again. If you ever go back to Tamlin, you're not allowed to disclose the location of where I'm taking you.
Oh.
And she's like, that's fine. I don't think I'm going to go back to him. So just, you know, take me with you.
God bless. She shouldn't.
Because now she's realized how much, but when she wakes up, in Rhysand's house, she's also realizing that she has nowhere else to go. She can't go back to the human land. Tamlin obviously doesn't respect her or see her for who she is, doesn't want to help her at all. So she's like, I might as well help and stay with this man who's, at least offering me a house and luxury. So Rhysand winnows her to a townhouse, and he's like, welcome to Villaris, the city of starlight. And she's like, what? There's a whole city in Prythian that nobody knows about? And he's like, yeah, this is where my people live. This is my house. And you're most welcome to live here. Nobody else is allowed to winnow inside except me and more, because we are the rulers of the Night Court. And whoever else you want, Feyre, you can invite in the house, but nobody without our permission is allowed inside. She's like, okay. And then she's standing in this really cozy house where there's a dining room and a living room with a library and like wooden floors. Just imagine a townhouse which is very cozy, lived in. So she realizes, oh, this is actually where Rhysand lives. The other house on the top of the mountain is just for like business and to show his guests around, but this is actually where he lives. And she's like, and she could hear like children laughing outside the house. And like people walking around, and hustle bustle of a city. And then two people are like banging on the doors like, oh, let us in. And she sees a silhouette of two people with wings, and one of them is like, oh, I was woken up, I was sleeping, I was promised breakfast, let me inside the house. And then she could also hear like a woman talking outside, and Rhysand is like, if you want to go upstairs and sleep some more, you're most welcome, or you can meet the people who are standing outside the roof. It's like, I'll meet them later, I want to go rest. So she goes upstairs, rests, and when she wakes up, Rhysand is like, so this is my city. He takes her out on a tour, and it's beautiful. It's a small town, like on two sides of a river. The river is named Sidra. And like, imagine a town that's divided by a city, but it's also like in 4 quadrants. So the town has a artist center and a place, like a small area where you can just buy jewelry, fabrics, and theater and music. It's the most beautiful. Feyre is like mesmerized. She's like, wow, like, how did you hide this place from Amarantha? How does nobody else know about this place? And Rhysand is like, this city has been protected by my forefathers for like thousands and thousands of years. I never wanted anybody else to know about this because I want to protect my people.
So none of these people were under the mountain then?
None of them were under the mountain. They were all protected in the city.
Oh my God, I love him.
And Feyre is shocked. But she's also angry at him by like, why did you not open up this city to other people who were suffering in the other parts of Prythian? You could have opened up the gates to your city for refugees, right? And he's like, no, my priority was my family and my people, and I've paid the price for that. And she's like, what price? And he's like, you know what price I had to pay.
Him pouring himself out.
Yeah. So she doesn't ask him anything. She realizes her mistake. So they walk around a bit, and then he's like, we're gonna have dinner tonight in the House of Wind, like the house at the top of the mountain, with my inner circle. So he's like, I want you to meet these people, the people who are closest to me, and I want you to decide if you want to work with me. So this is like, a work dinner that you get to know them, they get to know you, and then you tell me if you want to help me with Hybern. If you don't want to, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to leave. You can stay in my house, do whatever you want in the city, paint, whatever. But just give me a chance and come to the dinner and talk to the people I want to meet you. I want you to meet. So Rhysand, and she's like, how are we going to go up to the mountain, right? Because it's in the top of the mountain. So one thing about Rhysand is like, he can conjure up wings. Because there's like 2 reasons for it. He also has shapeshifter magic, but he is half High Fae and half Illyrian. So Illyrians are a breed of Fae that have wings, and they're basically a warrior clan. So Rhysand's mother was an Illyrian who also had wings, and his father was the High Lord of the Night Court.
Okay.
So Illyrians are not lesser Fae, but they're also not high Fae. Like they don't have pointed ears.
Okay.
They have normal curved human ears, but they have really big bat wings.
Okay.
So that's
where he gets it from.
That's where he gets it from.
Okay.
But he doesn't show his wings to anybody all the time. So while he was under the mountain, while Rhysand was under the mountain, nobody saw his wings except for Feyre. Like he's like, I love flying. My wings are protected. I only show them to people I trust because everything I've ever loved has been taken away from me. So I only show this part of me to people I trust. And he's always trusted Feyre, right?
Yeah.
Because he was helping her and he needed her help to beat Amarantha.
Yeah.
So when he's in Valaris, his wings are out all the time.
Yeah.
So he flies around and everything. So they get ready for dinner. And then they fly up to the House of the Wind. And Feyre is terrified. She's like, you're gonna ruin my hair. Like the women who help her get ready, she's like, oh, she spent an hour to make my hair and everything. He's like, don't worry, I'll protect your hair. And he can see that she's nervous and anxious that they're going to be flying to so much height on top of a mountain. So he tries to talk to her and ease her anxiety. So he tells her stories about his childhood. He's like, when I was younger, I used to sneak out of the house to fly around because I love flying, and sometimes my mother would catch me, but instead of reprimanding me, she would fly with me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Wait, his dad can't fly though, right?
No, his dad can't fly. Only his mother can.
Okay.
But they're all dead now.
Well, yeah.
So he is just, reminiscing about his
That's so sweet.
childhood.
Oh, wait, his parents died because of Tamlin's?
Yeah.
Parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
His parents died because of Tamlin's father, and then Rhysand killed Tamlin's father.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
damn, that sucks.
Exactly.
She's a cool mom, though.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Man, I feel so bad. I feel like crying for him. Honestly, that's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
So, and then Rhysand is like, when they reach the House of Wind, he can see how nervous Feyre is because she's like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if I'm, worthy enough to help him with Hybern and stuff. And then he can see that the anxiety in her, and he's like, whatever you wish to do, it's going to be your choice. I'm not going to force you into doing anything. If you say no, you don't want to be a part of this dinner, we can go right back. As long as you are okay with it, that's what we're going to do. She's like, it's fine, I can handle it. And then he's like, I told you something about myself. You have to tell me something about yourself. Like a thought for a thought. That's how he, wants to be her friend and stuff. And then when they're on top of the mountain and she can see the whole city and like below.
He took her to a lookout point.
Yeah. I mean,
my boy.
that's how the house is built. Like it's on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, whatever.
So
such a teenage little thing to do. Like, let me take you to the best part
a
of
rooftop
the city.
dinner.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when she sees the whole city, she realizes, and she says this to Rhysand, that I was a fool in love when I was with Tamlin because I never saw any part of the Spring Court territory. Like he never showed me any part of his court. I've never been to any other village or any other town. I have no idea how big Spring Court is, but seeing this, she's like, I was a fool in love or maybe I was a person so broken who had never been shown any kindness or love, that the first person to show me love, I just got attached to them.
Oof.
And she's like, but I think Tamlin also needed somebody like me because he also never had, somebody to love. But then after whatever happened under the mountain, I changed, but Tamlin didn't see that or realize that. And that's why our relationship broke down. And like she's really upset about it, and Rhysand is very quiet because he's like, I don't know what to say. And then the two guys that we saw in the morning at the house, they walk in, they're like, oh, hi, I'm Cassian, and the other one is like, my name is Azriel. And then Feyre is surprised, like, they want to shake her hand, and Feyre is like, hi, and then Cassian is, don't worry, we're not going to bite you unless you ask us to.
LOL. What a guy.
Yeah. So
they're the people asking for food, or like for breakfast or whatever. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So now we're gonna meet the inner circle. They're the people who are the closest to Rhysand.
Okay.
So Cassian and Azriel are full Illyrians.
Okay.
Like they are really tall, really powerful, all tan skin, black hair, amber eyes,
With the
and
wings too.
big bat wings.
Okay.
So Rhys, Cassian, and Azriel are bat boys.
Okay. Oh my god, I love Bat Boys.
Yeah. So they go to the dinner and they're all sitting around a table, and Rhysand introduces everybody to Feyre.
Mhm.
So we already know Morrigan, who is Rhys's cousin.
Yeah.
Then we meet Amren, who is the other voice we heard in the morning, or Feyre heard in the morning. So Rhysand is the High Lord of the Night Court.
Yeah.
And then his second in command, like after him, whoever is allowed to give orders is Amren. Amren is supposed to be a very, very old creature who is from another world. When there was a rip in this world, she fell through, was a part of Pyrthian, and she is the second in command for the Night Court. The third in command is Mor. So Mor is the one who takes care of the politics and all the court relations among the Night Court and the other people.
Who's the one who saved Pharaoh?
That is Mor.
Mor, right?
Mor. She's the cousin.
Okay.
So, and Rhysand is like, you will be surprised, Feyre, but she's the only pure-blooded high fae here. Everybody else is like either somebody else or a bastard.
Oh.
So Azriel and Cassian are bastards.
Oh.
Illyrian bastards. Because, like,
How?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
And then, so Morrigan is third in command.
Okay.
Azriel is Rhysand's spy master. Because
Spy?
He's the spy master.
Okay.
So he is the one who's responsible for sending his spies to other courts, like getting information for Rhysand.
Okay.
And his powers is like, he's called a shadow singer. We don't really know what that is. It's just like he can summon shadows and like they talk to him and they gather information for him.
Ooh, like whispers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like imagine like a swirling shadow around him all the time.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? Again, Disney movie Princess and the Frog. The Shadow Man. He sends his like demons, but they're in shadow form. Yeah. And they go and then they that's
exactly
the same thing.
Exactly that.
I have a feeling that this woman, the author, has watched all the Disney movies.
She has.
Well, obviously, and she's just gotten a couple things because I've Cinderella too.
Yeah.
You know, Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog. It's all making sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, very original still.
So Azriel is the shadow singer and Cassian is the best warrior. So he's the general of Rhysand's armies. So they're all very powerful people, but they are the immediate family that Rhysand has. They're the only family Rhysand has. So they're all eating dinner, they're joking around.
But Cassian and Azriel, they're not bound by blood, right? They're just like friends?
They're just friends, yeah.
Okay.
So they call each other brothers, but they're not brothers
but they're not
by
actually.
blood.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not actually brothers.
Okay, sounds good.
So because they've known each other for 500 years and more. So
they're like the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Okay.
So when they're eating dinner, Feyre realizes how informal all this is. Like they're all wearing whatever they feel like. She's wearing a dress because that's what she's used to in Spring Court. Like how formal all the dinners were. Yeah.
I didn't know that like it was a formal dinner all the time.
It was always formal. They were always dressed up in the Spring Court.
Oh, ew.
Every single
hate
time.
That. Even Tamlin too?
But he was always in like his best clothes.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I thought at least like her clothes, she could be normal because in the human world, obviously she was wearing like whatever she can find or like whatever she had and stuff. But then the expectation of her to like dress up.
That's why in the beginning when Feyre comes to the Spring Court, she refuses to wear dresses. She asks the maid like, get me pants and tunic.
Yeah.
But then eventually she starts wearing dresses because she's, it's fine, I'll adapt to it. But in the Night Court, you're allowed to wear whatever you want. Amren wears like palazzo pants and crop tops.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, it's that informal here. Mor always likes to dress up, so she's wearing her best dress and jewelry and everything.
Well, it seems like in this place you're free to be whoever you want to be, whereas in Spring Court, like you have to be prim and proper.
Exactly. The way Tamlin and Lucian's dynamic is like even Lucian is so scared of Tamlin he can't speak his mind. But with Rhysand, Cassian is calling him a bastard half the
Yeah.
time. He's like, oh, you're so stupid, you're this. They're all joking around
You
the
see,
whole time.
that's why I asked. Like, I think the last episode, I asked, I was like, how come Lucian is scared of Tamlin? Like, aren't they supposed to be best friends? Because, like, to me, especially bro besties, right? Like, they just, like, call each other, like, you know, names all the time.
Make fun of each other.
Yeah, make fun of each other. But then, like, Lucian's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not going to say this. I'm like, wait, I thought you guys are supposed to be, like, close. So, yeah, makes sense that everything's shallow and formal and whatever.
Yeah.
This makes me, But I'm glad that she's in a better place. Well, I mean, like, that makes it sound like she's dead, but she's not. She's in Night Court. But I'm glad she's having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they all exchange stories. Feyre wants to know how Cassian, Azriel, and Rhys met. So Cassian tells them that when an Illyrian boy is born, they're all, once they reach a certain age, like when they're 8 years old or 10 years old, they're all sent to the camp, the war camp, where they have to be trained. So they learn how to fly and they learn how to fight. Because Illyrians, their only job is to be warriors and be a part of the army. But because Rhysand is half Illyrian, half High Fae, and his mother was Illyrian, she didn't want him to just have his power, all the power that he's going to inherit from his father, but she also wanted him to learn how to fly and fight. So she takes him to the camp where he meets Cassian. The first day they meet, they beat each other to a pulp because Cassian has already been living in the camp because he is the son of a laundress in some other camp. So he's essentially a bastard. He doesn't know who his father is, and his mother is very ill-treated in the other camp. So he's sent to this other camp where he meets Rhysand. They become friends. Rhysand's mother takes Cassian and is like, oh, you're going to live with us now, because he doesn't have a home. Like, he's practically homeless, but he's the best fighter. So they take her in. Cassian and Rhys become really good friends. And then a few years later, Azriel is sent to the same camp. He is also a bastard of a, big man somewhere in the High Court, in the Illyrian war camps. And his older brothers really tortured him, so he has like burn marks on his hands, but his father was like, you still need to be trained. So at that point, like, Azriel is like 14 years old, but he doesn't know how to fly yet because nobody taught him. He was kept in a cell his whole life. So Azriel and Rhys realize he is powerful. He is a shadow singer. So, and then he's like, everybody else hates us because they're all, legitimate children. We are the bastards. So we're going to become best friends and buddies. But they're also really powerful. So they grow up together and become men together. And when Rhysand becomes the High Lord, he appoints them to his spy master and Cassian. And also another thing about the Illyrians is, because they have so much power inside them, they need something to channel it, to, siphon it. So they wear like 2 gems on their wrists. So Azriel is wearing 2 blue gems and Cassian is wearing 2 red gems. That like helps their power get a direction. Rhys explains it in a way that it's equivalent to throwing paint against a wall or using a brush to paint something. So you can, direct your power more precisely. So they all exchange stories. Amren is like, yeah, I'm really old, I'm very scary, I'm very powerful, and all of that. And then Cassian is like, Feyre, tell us about yourself. So she tells them her story, whatever happened to her before she came to the Spring Court, what happened during the Spring Court, under the mountain, and all of that. And Cassian has already heard her story of how she killed the Midgard worm by, setting up a trap for the worm, the first task that Amrantha gave her. So Rhysand might have told Cassian about it. So he's very excited to know, like, how did you do it? You were just a human. Like, tell me all about it. He's very, excited to know. And she's surprised that
she was getting a lot of credit for it.
Yeah.
That's true. No one ever gave her credit for it.
Except Rhysand, who bet on her.
I mean, yeah, obviously. But I'm like, no one gave her credit for it.
Tamlin never brings it up. Lucian never brings it up.
Oh, wow.
And Cassian, who wasn't even there, is so excited. It's like, oh, tell me all about it. Like, what did you do? How did you do it? How did you think of it?
I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why am I getting emotional? I'm like almost crying. Anyways.
Yeah. So the dinner happens, and then Cassian is like, if you want to learn how to fight, I will teach you. And then she's like, won't that send a bad message? Like if I am trying to, become powerful. And the moment she says it, she realizes how stupid that is, and she realizes how her thinking or how controlled she was in the spring court, how brainwashed she was in the spring court. And she's like, I'm sorry I said that. Yes, I will take the offer. I will train with you. And then she turns to Rhys and she's like, I will help you with Hybern. I'm ready to help you because, this is my life purpose now. So Rhysand is like, okay, now that we are all on the same page, Feyre, you all have, interviewed each other, you want to work with each other. Rhysand is like, the first thing I want to do is find out. He's like, I have a feeling that the king of Hybern wants to bring Jurian back to life.
Oh,
Do you
can
remember?
you do that? We don't know. Yeah, the Jurian's the one who's like in the ring of Amarantha.
Yeah.
The one,
The human.
Oh,
She killed
yeah.
because he killed her sister.
Yeah.
So Rhysand is like, I think the king of Hybern wants to bring Jurian back to life. And everybody's shocked. They're like, what?
Oh, wait, question. So whatever happened to Amarantha's body then? But she just like...
She was beheaded. She's gone.
But what about her like belongings?
Yeah, that's what. So Feyre is like, oh, so what happened to the ring and the piece of bone? They're like and you remember the Atter? The creature who was beating up Feyre and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The creature was never found, and the ring and the bones were never found. So the Atter took the bone and the ring and he fled.
Oh.
And I think they went back to Hybern.
Oh. Wait, I don't remember the Adder that much actually.
The Atter is supposed to be like a really scary being.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know.
The one with the wings and like
the
claws and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the one who like tells the future.
Oh, no, that's the Surreal.
Okay.
We love the Surreal.
We like the Surreal.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. But the Atter is gone. So Rhysand is like, I think that's what's gonna happen. This one's gonna happen. But I want to talk. But I want to know for sure. So Amren is like, you should go to the prison and talk to the bone carver. And Cassian is like, what the fuck? Don't say that. Feyre is clueless. She's like, what? Where? What is happening? So the bone carver is supposed to be a very old creature who, again, is very powerful, very dangerous, is a murderer, is somewhere in a place called the prison. And he's been there for thousands and thousands of years. But that person knows all the details. Like, he knows everything. He's also like a very old person. He knows about the old magic, how people can be brought back to life and all of that. This person, since they've been living in the prison for so long, they have all the information, because the way the land and the prison works is like, it's another mountain range which is turned into a fortress that imprisons all these dangerous things and creatures. But the way they have the information is like they listen to the air and the wind and the earth, so information travels to them. So Amren is like, I'm not gonna go because she has escaped the prison. Amren used to be in the prison before, but nobody knows where she came from, who put her in there, and how she escaped. So she's like, I'm not gonna go. The bone carver is not gonna talk to Mor or Cassian or Asriel. He's not gonna talk to you either, Rhysand. But you should take Feyre because she's interesting. She is, something different. She was made, like she used to be a human, but she was turned into a high fae. So she has something that the bone carver would want, like information
from Feyre. Okay.
So Rhysand is like, okay, fine, I'll take you.
Wait, in exchange for what information?
Whatever the bone carver wants to ask her about her life. Like, it's a very unique situation that a human died and then was turned into an immortal.
Yeah.
So the bone carver would like to know that.
Okay.
So Rhysand is like, okay, fine, we're going to go to the prison tomorrow. Okay. Now that Feyre, you have agreed to work with me, this is the first thing we have to do.
Okay.
So she's like, okay, fine, I will go with you. And then that night when they go back home, Feyre has a nightmare again, like she's screaming and she thinks that Amarantha is back and she's torturing her, and like Rhysand comes to her room and like wakes her up. And then when she wakes up, she realizes she's shredded the bed because she can conjure
Fine.
claws and everything. And but then when she wakes up, she sees Rhysand. She realizes that he's shirtless and like he also has tattoos all over his chest and hands.
Oh.
The same tattoo that Feyre has.
Uh-huh.
He has the same tattoos all over himself.
Oh.
And then she runs to the bathroom, throws up and everything, and then he soothes her and like, it's okay, I also have a recurring nightmare.
Mhm.
And then Rhysand tells her that every other night he dreams about Amarantha, and instead of him being tied up to her bed, it's either Cassian or Azriel.
What?
Yeah, he dreams about that he failed his people, and because of
And
his
they're the
failure,
ones-
they're the ones who are suffering under her.
Oh, what a damn!
Yeah.
What a man!
Yeah. And then Feyre is like, don't say that. You did everything you could. And he's like, every time, every day, like he spent 50 years under the mountain, right? He's like, every day I would think that I'm never going to see these people again. I'm never going to be able to see Valaris again. And I fought to come back to my people. Like, I've done everything and more. I've become the villain in front of everybody else so I can protect my people, and I will do it again.
Mhm.
If my city and my family is endangered, I will become the villain again in a heartbeat. I won't even think about it.
Damn!
Yeah.
What a guy!
Seriously,
I like that his priorities is his people.
Yeah.
Above everything.
Mhm.
And that he's very clear on that.
Yeah.
That's very attractive.
Yeah. He's ready to sacrifice himself to protect his people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he did anyways.
I'll sacrifice myself for Pakistan. Do you know that meme?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's so funny.
Oh, I think I do.
It's like when the kids go up to the mic.
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice myself for Pakistan.
I have seen that.
But like in a nicer way.
Yeah. So Feyre and Rhys go to the prison, which is
Mhm.
supposed to be on an island that's on the western part of the Night Court. And when they reach there, and Feyre realizes that she has to go inside a mountain again
Mhm.
because the prison is built inside a mountain, she freaks out. She's like, no, I'm not going to do this. She's triggered. And then Rhys is like, it's fine. Don't worry. You're not going to get trapped inside. I'm there with you. She's like, I can't do it. Please take me back. So they go back home, and
Oh, they don't go.
they don't go because he said that, it's your choice. Whenever you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it.
What a respectful man.
So she goes home and spends the whole day in bed
Okay.
because she's depressed. And he leaves her alone. He leaves her peace. Like, you take your time whenever you are ready.
Yeah.
The next day, Amren comes to Feyre's room and throws an amulet at her. She's like, take this. And Feyre's like, what is that? She's like, this is what helped me escape the prison. This is what's going to keep you safe or keep you out. Just take it and go. We need the information from the bone carver. You have to do this. So
Wait, what does she mean by like this kept me safe from the prison?
Amren was in a prison.
Oh.
So, and she escaped somehow.
Okay.
We don't know how she escaped.
Okay.
And nobody has had the guts to ask her, honestly.
Okay.
But
we're finding out now that the amulet has something to do with it?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
she tells Feyre that, like,
Okay.
this is what protected me. So just take it and go and get the information. Like,
Oh, okay.
not the bone carver.
Okay.
So Feyre and Rhysand the next day go back to the mountain, to the prison, and they enter it. They go down, like it's like a carved thing, and it's very dark, and like they're holding hands. Rhysand is like, don't worry, I'm here with you. And they enter a cell whose gates are made out of bones. And they enter it. And so the thing about the bone carver is nobody knows what he looks like because he appears differently to each person. So even if you and I are standing in front of the bone carver, like when Feyre and Rhys are standing in front of it, Feyre will see him differently than Rhysand will.
Oh.
Because like he manifests as your deepest, darkest secrets or something. Nobody knows how he manifests in front of every person.
Does the book say like what Rhysand sees versus what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Feyre sees him, it's a 8-year-old boy with black hair.
Okay.
So when Feyre is talking to Rhysand is not talking to the bone carver because he won't answer his questions. Like bone carver won't answer Rhysand's questions.
Why?
Because he has nothing new to say
Oh.
to him. The bone carver is like, yeah, I have nothing. I'm not going to give you any information because I have nothing to get from you.
Oh,
in
like
return.
you don't have any new tea.
Yeah.
So why would I tell you
Yeah,
shit?
and plus
Oh my
he's the
God.
High Lord, so he's also scared of him.
Oh.
So the bone carver is like, yeah, I would only like to talk to this new creature who's standing in front of me, Feyre. So he appears as a child to Feyre. So the first question Feyre asks him is, can you bring somebody back to life from just a piece of bone? And the bone carver is like, was the soul preserved in any way? And Feyre is like, yeah, it was. He's like, no, it's impossible. It can't be done. But if you have the right tools, you can. And then Rhysand is like, stop playing games, just tell us. So the bone carver is like,
So the answer is yes, there is a way.
exactly.
Stupid.
So the because he's like, I'll tell you something, you have to tell me something in return.
He just wants a dramatic effect.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Seriously. Because the bone carver the first question the bone carver asks Feyre is like, what happened when you died? Like he wants to know if there's an afterlife and stuff, but I'll come back to that.
Okay.
So the bone carver tells them that you can bring back somebody if you have a piece of their bone and their soul, and the way to do is if you use the cauldron. Do you remember the cauldron? The thing that created their whole world?
Yeah.
But Rhysand is like, the cauldron has been lost for a very, very long time because it fell into the wrong, because it's a very powerful thing that can make or break anything. Because nobody wanted it to fall into wrong hands, they can't break the cauldron, because if you break it, you break the world will end. But to diminish its power, they removed the 3 legs that it sat on, and then they distributed it among different places so it's safe. And Rhysand is like, I know that the cauldron, I don't even know its location, but I know the legs are at different places. So what are you talking about? The bone carver is like, no, the cauldron was lost, but it's been found and it's back to power. And that's when Rhysand realizes that, you remember Mor was talking to him about an attack at a temple?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They were looking for that? But who was looking for it?
Hybern.
Oh.
The people.
Did she say like Hybern was the one who attacked?
No, nobody knew
who it was.
We didn't know, or they didn't find out who the attack was from. But Rhysand is
putting
it together that all the 3 temples that had the legs, they were all attacked. All the 3 legs have been stolen back, and the cauldron has been stolen back. So Hybern is ready to bring Jurian back.
So they have all 3 legs.
They have all 3 legs, and they have the cauldron as well.
So they just have to find that creature.
The creature is already with Hybern, because he was, to begin with, Hybern's slave. He was just with Amarantha. But to win back Hybern, the king of Hybern's, to go back into his good graces, the moment Amarantha died, he ran back. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, forgive me, here, I have this for you. So he takes Jurian's bone and his eye back to the king of Hybern.
What a bitch.
I know, right?
Is it just one of its kind, or is it like, are there multiple?
There are more, but this is the one who
one
was under the mountain, the most powerful one. You don't know his name. I don't know why.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't deserve a name.
So, and Rhysand already had a feeling that this was going to happen. He just wanted a confirmation so he can, act on his next steps. And then the next question Rhysand asks, or like Feyre asks the bone carver, is like, how do we stop him? Right? How do we stop him from coming back to life? So the bone carver is like, there is one book called the Book of Breathings. That is the only book that has the spells, and it's powerful enough to stop the cauldron. And Feyre is the only person who can use it, because the book was made. And so because Feyre was brought back to life in this universe, they use the term because she was made. So similarly,
essentially she was.
Yeah. So similarly, the Book of Breathings was made from the cauldron. So Feyre is the only one who can wield it. That's why Rhysand wanted her to learn how to read.
Oh my God. Smart and respectful.
Yeah. So the bone carver, so Rhysand is like, okay, tell me where the book is. So the bone carver says the book has been broken into 2 parts, because again, it's a very powerful book to preserve it. One part is with the Summer Court, and the other part is with the human queens.
There's human queens?
Yeah.
In the human world?
Yeah.
Did Feyre know about the human queens
Yeah.
when she was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows. They live in another continent,
Okay,
not in the
okay.
same. They don't live in Prythian. There's another continent.
OMG, does that mean she's gonna go to the human world, say hi to the sisters? Like, hey, I'm here to get a part of a book.
Bro, seriously, that is exactly what she's gonna do.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be, apparently this is a thing with people with ADHD where like they just like put pieces together and then just like figure out the whole book.
Yeah.
I haven't figured anything out yet, but I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen. Where's the other one?
So the other one is with the summer court.
She hasn't been there yet.
No, but yeah, she hasn't been there. And so Rhysand's okay. So one part is with the summer court, one part is with the human queens, and then Rhysand is like, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Let's go, Feyre. We're gonna go home. And then the bone carver is like, when she dies, bone carver says to Rhysand, when Feyre dies, bring me her bone. I want to carve her death in the bone, and then they leave.
Carve her death in their bone?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's what he does. Like he sits and he carves bones with like people's stories and stuff. He's very
I see. So I'm picturing a bone and like a
piece of bone,
and then like a little knife, and then he's trying to like make drawings on the bone. Yeah. Oh, what a psycho
he is! That's why he's in the prison.
Crazy guy.
And then Feyre turns to Rhysand when they're out of the prison, and she's like, "Who did you see? Like, who did you see the bone carver as?" He's like, "I saw him as Jurian." So the bone carver like already knew why Rhysand was there, who he wanted to talk to him about. That's how mysterious and dark and powerful the bone carver is.
Oh my god!
So now their plan is so they go back to Villaris, go back to the townhouse.
You said that there was another question she asked, like what happens when they die?
Oh yeah. So the bone carver asks Feyre, like, tell me what happened to you when you died. Is there another world out there? Like he wanted to know about the afterlife, like what will happen to him if he died someday. Mm-hmm. So Feyre is like, nothing happened. Like I didn't see anything because it was dark. Like I saw, like she says that I felt when Amarantha broke my neck. And Rhysand looks at her because she's never said that to anybody, and he's like devastated. Like there's pain in his eyes when he hears Feyre say that. And then Feyre is like, after that I didn't feel any pain because I was in Rhysand's mind. Like I held on to the bond that was between us, because after she killed me is when I realized that I don't want to die anymore. Oh. And that I was put here for a purpose, and I don't know that yet, but I want to live. That's why she held on to the bond and like stayed in Rhysand's mind, and that's how they were able to bring her back. Okay. But I think that answer wasn't good enough for the bone carver. He wanted to know more, but Rhysand is like, shut the fuck up, just tell us the information that we want to know. We are running out of time. We don't have time for your games.
Yeah, seriously.
So they get all the information they need. They go back to Villaris. They tell this to everybody else, to Mor, Cassian, Azrael, and Amren. And they're like, okay, so what's the plan now? They can't just... So their plan... So now Rhysand is like, I'm going to write to the High Lord of the Summer Cold. His name is Tarquin. He's like, I'm going to write him a letter and ask him that I want to visit him. And, because I want to be his friend and something. But it's Feyre's task to look for the book or like see where it is. So, because Feyre has the power of all 7 High Lords, Rhysand believes that she has 7 different fingerprints. Because she has power of everyone, she can disguise herself as the other one. So once Feyre and Rhysand were talking, and she was able to slip inside his mind as well. She shouldn't be able to do that. He's very, very powerful. Yeah. But the only reason she was able to do that is because his mind shield thought that Feyre's mind shield was a part of himself. So the shield let her pass through. So Rhysand thinks she can do it with other people as well. So they can go to the Summer Court. Wherever the book is hidden, Feyre can pretend to be Tarquin or like bring his essence to the surface and cheat or deceive whatever spell is on wherever the book is, and she can steal it. Yes. So that's their plan.
Yeah.
And then the other half is with the human queens, right? They can't steal that because when the book was given to them for safekeeping, they also made a deal that the book has to be given willingly, otherwise it will destroy itself. Because the humans don't have any powers, but these people have powers to kill them, mind manipulate them. So the book is protected. That part of the book is protected from all the magic and everything, and it has to be willingly given by the queens to the people. So their plan is to go to the human world, set up a base at Feyre's father's house. So they're going to go back to the sisters. They're going to see
Let's go.
Nesta and Elaine again.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to bring the queens to them, talk to them, convince them that give us the book. It's for everybody's betterment because Hybern is going to rage war on us.
Does the queen like Jurian?
Oh, so there are 6 human queens. So it's not one. There are 6 human queens.
Oh, she doesn't know which one?
All of them have to be willingly able to give the queen. They all live together in the human world.
So all of them have to discuss and then be like,
here, take it.
Okay, I.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a feeling that there's going to be like a couple queens being like, nuh-uh. And then they're going to be like, but, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I think this is fishy because we barely know her. Da, 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 da. And there's going to be some quarrel there. Maybe like, hold on. Maybe Feyre has to like somewhat like prove herself to show them like this is justified and everything. And then she gets the book. But my question, but like, they would have a problem, right, if Jurian came back?
Yeah.
So he's a common enemy.
Yes.
So that's good. He's a common because Hybern wants to bring back Jurian, and obviously neither parties want that to happen.
Yeah.
So
but the only way to stop it is stop the cauldron, and they don't have the cauldron.
Right, but like I mean to get the book, right?
Yeah.
They have no reason not to give it.
Oh, the queens?
Yeah.
Oh, we will find their reasonings later. I mean, they have their own fucked up reasons.
Even the summer court guy, like there shouldn't be a reason why he wouldn't give it.
See, the thing is, how the only person right now who's saying there's a war coming is Rhysand. Nobody else has realized it, and everybody hates Rhysand. They all think that he's out to get them. He's always manipulating and scheming and stuff. So Rhysand needs to win his trust first.
Yeah.
And that book is like a part of Tarquin's heritage. Like it's been passed down from High Lord to High Lord to High Lord. He will not just, willingly give the book away. It's like, oh, I trust you, here, take it.
That's
because
true.
because Tarquin was going to think, what if Rhysand wants to use the book against everybody and rule Prythian, right?
That's true.
That's a very, very obvious doubt that all these people are going to have in their mind because everyone hates Rhysand.
So now they need like proof that a war is going to happen. Otherwise, they're not going to give it. Or are they just going to plan to take it?
I think they will just plan to
like figure out a way to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now their plan is now that they're back, they know what their plan is. So again, Rhysand is going to try to set up a visit. So, they're willingly invited into the summer court because they can't just
show up.
It's going to rage another internal war. They don't want that. Also, Feyre is like, how are you so sure I'll be able to detect it? You are saying all these things that I have these powers and stuff, but I have no control over my powers. I don't even know what powers I have. It's all hypothesis for now. It's all your thinking, right? He's like, oh, I have a way to test it. Don't worry. She's like, what? What do you mean? He's like, there's another thing of mine that's with somebody called the Weaver, and I want you to go look for it and retrieve it. And she's like, oh my God, this man. So
there's so many quests. She asked for it. She's like, I don't want to stay home.
Exactly.
So what is she whining about? It's what she wanted.
So Feyre's next quest is to go see somebody called the Weaver.
Okay. Damn, she just needs to pay all these consultants a visit before finally, finally figuring it out. Is there a deadline or no?
I mean, it could be tomorrow. It could be 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, Rhysand is doing whatever he can as soon as he can to prepare at least himself.
Yeah.
In case there is a war.
Okay.
In case Hybern.
Oh, sorry.
No. Ask me.
What happened to Tamlin?
We don't know. Feyre is here, right? It's Feyre's point of view.
Oh. I just want to know his reaction. Okay, well, I guess like you'll tell me later
Yeah.
in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm dying to know what his reaction is. This fucker, he's like, if he's
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you know that, he'd be angry and he would have already trashed the place.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I just want to hear you say it. Just so I can be like, well, yeah, that's what you asked for.
But yeah, we'll find out later what Tamlin's reaction was.
Okay, so she has a couple, like, this quest, maybe, I mean, I don't know, but, like, maybe a couple other ones before she goes to the Summer Court and before she goes to the human place to get the book.
Yeah.
It just sucks that the cauldron's already there, though. I thought that the plot would go where they would try to get one of the legs before.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they already have it. Because I didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to say, they're going to stop
it.
Yeah, they're going to stop the Hybern army from getting the last leg. But they already have it.
Yeah.
Like, that's stressing me out a little bit.
You see, Rhysand is powerful and he's smart and everything, but the king of Hybern is way, way older.
Yeah.
And he knows way more things than Rhysand does.
Yeah.
Rhysand is fairly new in all of this. He's fairly young in being a High Lord and knowing the histories and all of that. King of Hybern has been there for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
So he's trying to catch up to the king, but he's still a lot of steps ahead than the rest of the High Lords.
He's too many. I'm scared that the king of Hybern already knows about the books or like the book, and that he's trying, like, gonna put some stuff in the way and everything. So
we shall find out.
Oh, we shall find out. I'm so nervous. Okay, well, let's
see you in the next episode.
Yes. If this episode piqued your interest and you want to pick up the book to meet us where we left off, we ended this episode at around chapter 19. See you in the next episode.